ever. The big question is an EV still the smart financial move for your driving habits? Today we're cutting through the noise. We're not talking about saving the planet. We're talking about saving your wallet. So we're going to break down the true cost of EV ownership for 3 different types of drivers across 3 popular price points. And crucially, I'll give you the clear payback period for each scenario because, let's be honest, that's what we really want to know. Now, I have to be open and say that this video is a sponsored video. It's sponsored by me and it's sponsored by EV Unplugged, my channel. We've got a Amazon store which we are selling t-shirts and hoodies with EV slogans on the front. If you're interested, please go and buy them using the links in the description. It does help me out as well. So, shameless plug, on with the video. Before we dive into the numbers, let's quickly set the stage. The landscape for EVs has changed. In the UK from April 2025, even zero-emission vehicles are no longer exempt from Vehicle Excise Duty, or VED, or what used to be road tax. That's something we need to factor in. We've also seen a rise in public charging costs, but new subscription models are trying to claw back some of that value. For comparison, we've picked 3 realistic EV price points and 3 common driver profiles. So what have we chosen? 1. The budget-conscious, around £25,000 to £30,000 on the road. Examples of this might be the Dacia Spring and the MG4 SE long range. For our calculations, we're going to use the MG4. This costs about £20,000, it's got a 64 kilowatt battery and does about 280 miles. The mid-range performer is about £40,000 to £45,000, so a step up. Examples of this are the Tesla Model 3 or the Hyundai Ioniq 5, which is an amazing car, by the way. But for this, we're going to use the Tesla Model 3, costs about £42,000, has 75 kilowatt battery and does 390 miles range. And then the premium choice, the higher end, the £50,000 to £55,000. You could have the BMW i4 eDrive or a Polestar 2 long range. For the benefit of this video, we're going to choose the BMW i4 eDrive. Costs about £53,000, has an 83.9 kilowatt battery and does about 360 miles on a full charge. So now, let's have a look at our drivers. We got the home worker Dave. Does about 20 miles per day, Monday to Friday, about 5,000 miles per year. Primarily does local errands, school runs, to the gym and back. That's about it really. We've got our commuter, Sarah. She drives about 80 miles a day, Monday to Friday, which gives an average about 20,000 miles per year, and has a steady motorway commute as well as a little bit of town and city driving. And then we've got Mark, our taxi driver. Mark's driving about 300 miles a day, 6 days a week, which gives him a staggering 90,000 miles a year. Very high mileage professional use. So now for the crucial part, the cost scenarios. We've all heard about cheap home charging, but what if you don't have a driveway? What if you want public charging discounts? We've covered 4 distinct scenarios with our 3 drivers. Average home UK charging price off-peak is about 15 pence per kilowatt hour. You can get it cheaper than that. I'm on about 6 pence I think at the moment. Average UK public charging, I've gone for 75 pence per kilowatt, and I've chucked in a subscription to a monthly rate of £10 per month, which gives you a rate of 43 pence per kilowatt hour. The EV has an efficiency of about 4 miles per kilowatt hour. That will change based on the model, how you drive it, time of the year and so on. So scenario 1, home charger. You have a home charger, you charge at 15 pence per kilowatt hour. If you exceed your car's range in a day, especially the taxi driver, you will top up at 75 pence per kilowatt hour at public chargers. Scenario 2, you've got no home charger, you are totally relying on public charging, and that is going to cost you 75 pence per kilowatt hour. Scenario 3 is the home charger, but public charging when you need to, so you go beyond the vehicle's mileage while you're out and about and you have to charge it publicly. And for this, we're going to add in a £10 per month subscription to lower that rate to 43 pence per kilowatt hour. And the last scenario is you've got no home charging, you are solely relying on public charging, but again, you have that subscription of £10 per month, taking your charging cost to 43 pence per kilowatt hour. Right, let's get straight to our findings. This is where it gets interesting. We've calculated the payback period for each EV and driver in all 4 scenarios, taking into account the upfront cost difference, higher price of the EV compared to an equivalent petrol car. However, that difference is dropping rapidly. Fuel savings, the biggest factor, comparing electricity to petrol, and the vehicle excise duty, which basically doesn't exist free for cars apart from their first year now. We're going to factor in savings on services because generally there's less moving parts in an EV, so the service costs are much lower. But we will also add in the luxury car surcharge for the BMW, as any expensive car is now subject to that. Insurance, we'll just say it's broadly the same across all the vehicles. That may depend on where you live or your age, but we can't factor all that in. So let's have a look at our home worker. Doing 20 miles a day. For the home worker with an MG4, they have a home charger as per scenario 1, and the payback is between 3 to 4 years. That's pretty good. But look at scenario 2 where there's no home charging and you're relying on public charging at 75 pence per kilowatt hour. That payback stretches 10 years, possibly never. The low mileage simply doesn't generate enough fuel savings to overcome those high public charging costs. Adding a public charging discount, such as in scenarios 3 and 4, definitely helps, bringing that public charging payback down to between 6 and 7 years.
Around 6, 7. 6, 7.
See what I did there? But it's still significant. Now let's have a look at our commuter doing about 80 miles a day. This is where EVs really start to shine. With a home charger, such as scenario 1, this driver could see that their Tesla Model 3 payback is under 2.5 years. Even without a home charger, but with public charging with discount, such as scenario 4, they're still looking at a payback of just 4 to 5 years. The higher mileage makes a huge difference. The savings accumulate much faster. And finally, we've got our taxi driver doing a whopping 300 miles a day. This is the extreme case. This driver needs to be smart about charging. If they rely purely on public charging without any discount, such as scenario 2. The payback is still a long way off, 8 to 9 years for the BMW i4, but they do have access to a home charger or utilises a public charging subscriptions. Then the payback could be as low as 2 years. Even with the premium like the BMW, the massive fuel savings are now a dominating factor here. This shows how crucial charging strategy is for high mileage drivers. So what's the big takeaway here? It's clear. Your charging situation is almost as important as your mileage. For lower mileage drivers, if you cannot cheaply charge at home, the financial case for an EV in 2026 is much harder to make, even with discounts. But for anyone doing significant mileage, especially commuters, the fuel savings still offer a compelling payback, particularly if you have home charging. One final thought. These are financial paybacks. They don't include the convenience factor. Not having to go to a petrol station on a cold morning, the smoother drive, the instant torque, or the environmental benefits. But if your main motivation is money and saving it, then the numbers are clear. Do your own calculations based on actual driving and your charging habits. Don't just take the headlines at face value. I hope this deep dive was helpful. Let me know in the comments, are these numbers what you expected? What's your biggest concern about switching to an EV? Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for more real-world advice. It costs you nothing, but it really helps me grow the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.